guys, Tammy here, back with a short tutorial video. I'm making a fall tag for a swap that I'm doing, and I am going to do something a little different for my background. Most people just use designer paper, whatever you want to call it, DSP paper, with the design already on it, and that's fine. But I want to add a little dimension and a little texture to mine. So I'm going to use my Gelli Plate, and I'm going to create some papers, background papers that I can use to, I usually, if I just use 20-pound paper, I tear it apart and place it on the background of a solid color or whatever on my tag, and then I decorate from there up. So it kind of gives a dimension, and I like the look of it. I like how it feels. I like the texture. So I'm just going to show you really quick how I do that. And I'm going to be using 20-pound paper. I have this stencil, and it's by Stencil Girl, but I didn't do a very good job of getting my paint off before, so I apologize. I can't tell you what it's called. Let's see, kind of down there, stencil, I'm not sure, but it looks like a fallish background to me, so I'm going with it. Anyway, and then I just have some regular school line paper, and I leave that off to the right, and what I do is in between applying coats of my acrylic paint, I do my roller on the paper, and it cleans the roller off. It kind of twofold. It cleans the roller off, and then also don't throw these papers away when you do that, because it's going to create some really cool backgrounds. And I'm not sure if I should use this roller or my good old trusty roller. Nope, that one's kind of got glue all over it. So, and you can clean your rollers off, but it's fine because it's going to get texture, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm going to show you a couple of different things that you can do. So this is my stencil, but I'm not going to use that right now, so I'm going to put that aside. This is a Gelli Plate. This one is 8.5 by 11, I believe. Let me look. Okay, so it's a little under 8, and it's 10 1/4. So about, I think that was 7 7/8. Yeah, 7 7/8 by 10 1/4. You can get these all over the place. They're Gelli Plates, Gelliplates. And they've gone crazy with the different things that you can get now. So there's circles, there's triangles, there's squares, there's lips, there's hearts, all kinds of octagons, all kinds of stuff. But I just have these. So I have this size, and I have a 5 by 7, and I have a 3 by 5. And I'm not sure if I have any shapes. I don't think I do, but it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm just going to show you really quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use 20-pound paper, just regular 20-pound white paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can do cardstock, but because I'm going to be ripping it and putting it on the back as part of the background on my tag, I'm just going to use 20-pound paper. So we're going to use apple barrel chestnut for the acrylic paints. You're going to want to use acrylic paint. And I just saw somebody use ink pads, but I thought that was kind of unique. But I'm going to use, on this bigger one, I'm going to use acrylic paint. It's just easier. So this is Folk Art Chocolate Brown, and this was a metallic one. And then I've got some apple barrel ripe tomato and apple barrel pumpkin orange. Okay, now shake these up really well. It does not take a lot of paint on the Gelli press. You're just gonna put little dabs here and there, and I thought this one was open, but it's not, so let me open it up. Okay, so what I do is I just kind of like put a drop there, just however you want. It doesn't even matter. You can put it wherever, but like I said, you don't need a lot. The metallic one, I'll probably put a little bit more just because I want more of the metallic to come through. And then not too much of the darker color, and then we're going to put a lighter color. And don't worry if you get too much, you can always take it off later. But okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our roller, and you want to be smooth, so you want to go up, down, up, down. You can go across this way, you can go diagonal, however you want, whatever you want your look to be. I don't go too much because I don't want my colors to start blending. So let's see, I'll show you. You're just going to go back and forth. That, you kind of want it to roll. And then I'm going to go this way. And it's really funny because I have tried everything in the book that I've been told. And then by Gelli Plate press people. But my Gelli Plate has little bubbles in it, and I've done everything from putting books on it. Yeah, so anyway, so all you do, and I can't get rid of them, but it's okay. There's methods out there to do it. So anyway, I'm going to put some more metallic in there. Just because I want that to come through. It might be because it's cold in my room. I don't know. Okay. Then I'm going to just roll that over here on my scratch piece of paper. And you're going to want, at least a few sheets of scratch paper. So I just put them to side. So this is what my scratch paper looks like. Don't throw it away. It looks, you can add more, if you do other Gelli Plates, you can keep adding to that, or you can use that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my color for this one, and I'm just going to rub that down really, really well, because I want to make sure that I get all the paint up. Okay. Alright, so there's my first background, and then I'm just going to put that aside, let it dry, and I'm left with this, which is cool. So I'm going to put some more paint. I'm not too sure I like this metallic stuff. I probably have too much on here because that other paper was pretty wet. It doesn't take a lot, really. Okay. I probably should have got my smaller one out too because of the size of the stencil that I'm going to use. Alright, so I'm going to take my roller. And I usually wipe my roller down when I'm done anyway, so if it doesn't all come off on the paper, I'm not going to really worry about it. So anyway, there we go. Alright, so on this one, I think I'm going to put my stencil there, and I'm just going to press that down. I'm just trying to get some texture for some pieces on my, and I'm not worried about if I get it on the back. It's cool. Just lay your paint down and have fun, and don't worry about the back. Alright, so here we go. So there is using the stencil, and then if you take this off, like that, which I really need to clean that off really quick, but it's cool. I'm going to take that scratch piece of paper I did earlier, and I might end up using that, I don't know yet. Just lay that down, press that all over, and then I'm going to lift that up. So you kind of get a little hint of the actual stencil, which is really cool. I think that looks neat. And then sometimes too, I'll put a little bit of white just to give it a contrast, but since I was using white paper, so I'm going to let that dry. I'm really happy with that. I am going to use this just like it is. Now you can, you know, do your background, clean this off, and then, what am I trying to say? Okay, so like what we did before, so put your stencil down, or put your paint down, so like do a white or a really light orange or something, and then put your stencil down, and then put your original pickup paper on top of that, and then you will get a design on top of this that's kind of light, and you'll see it better on the paper. But I like this because I'm going to use both. I'm going to use this here for part of the background. I am going to use this as an accent, and then I'm going to use this too. So I think I need to get a new brayer because it made lines when I tried to bray the paint. So I just let that dry, and then I just use, let me see if I can find my baby wipes. They're right here behind me. So really easy, and you don't want your Gelli Plate to dry out, so usually what I do is clean off the paint with a baby wipe. And I want to make sure that my Gelli Plate is going to be in good condition when I want to use it again. So we're going to get all of that off. And I know some people don't even clean their Gelli Plates. I know people that don't, so it doesn't, however you want. But I hand sanitizer, and then I just rub that, and this helps to preserve the Gelli Plate. And I probably should have done that before I did the paint, but hey, that is cool. Okay, so I have some scratches in my Gelli Plate. I don't like that. Little bubble. So it dries really quick because it's hand sanitizer, so let that dry really quick. I don't have any paper towels, or I would wipe this off with a paper towel, but okay, and then I'm going to put my little protective sheet thingy on. And that is it. So I do need to clean my stencil off, but I can do that the baby way. I didn't do it before, and I should have, and so I got stuck paint on it, but that's cool. So I'm just going to take a thread, and usually when I do Gelli Plates, I'll have like scrap paper everywhere with paint on it, trying to dry, but that's okay. So if you don't, now you can soak your stencils in water and try to clean them that way. I do know people that don't even care if their stencils get paint built up on them, but I do, and the last time I used this, I totally forgot to clean it off, so that's kind of a bummer. But you just have to be really careful, especially if you have an intricate die or stencil, because you don't want to rip any of the really skinny little pieces and stuff. You don't want to rip your stencil. So I think that's good. And then I've got this really, I don't like that. Anyway. So anyway, that is what I'm going to do. So here's my Gelli Plate paper, and I'm going to let that completely dry before I do anything with it, because I don't know what happened to my, oh, here's my tag. So this is going to be the background for my tag, and then I'm going to use this as the background. Once it dries, I'll rip it up and piece it onto my tag. This is the tag that I got. And so I'm not sure what size that is. Yep, it's a 4x8 tag. And like I said, this is just something that I like to do. You know, I've got just regular designer paper on the back, and then this is just going to have the solid color here, the orange, and then this will be the accent paper onto the back of the tag. And I do this a lot with my tags, and I love the way it looks. So anyway, just a quick FYI, something you might want to think about to help make your tags a little bit more special on the background. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to be notified when I upload new videos, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget the little bell icon to the right. That will let you know when I do upload a new video. So I will probably, once the paper's dry, I will come back and I'll do a process video for how I make my tags. So anyway, thanks for joining me. You guys have a blessed evening, and I will talk to you later.